Park. He's with Jeff Shreve.
Need that tonight.
Yeah, massively. The last couple of games have not been good enough in all areas, really. So, yeah, we knew we had to bounce back, obviously, just before the international break as well. We didn't want to go away with 3 losses or 2 losses and a draw. We knew we needed to win, and the boys put in a great shift, and we deserved it.
What did you feel was different about tonight?
Yeah, I think the attitude. I think the last couple of games we've dropped below our standards in that aspect. Working hard together, all in the same direction. And yeah, we just lost a bit of that, and it was nice to get that back today. You saw everyone fighting, putting their bodies on the line, and that's what we're going to need from now to the end of the season if we want to give that top 4 a push.
Was that the key, unity? Because that had been questioned in some places.
Yeah, I think so. I think whenever you go through a difficult couple of games like we have, obviously a London derby, then going out to the Europa League in that fashion was embarrassing for us as players, you know. And the only way we can kind of give back to the fans, give back to the club, is to get out there on the pitch and then show what we're made of. And I think we've done that today.
You were involved, of course, in both goals tonight. Tell us about that involvement.
Yeah, no. The first one, Finney made a great run in behind. Obviously, Lucas pounced on the second ball, and then with his pace, I knew I could put him in, and he made a great decision to square it for Finney. Delighted for him to get his Premier League goal. And then, yeah, the second one, obviously, a rash challenge, and I was able to tuck away the penalty.
How did you enjoy playing with a different type of partnership this evening and dropping back deeper yourself at times?
Yeah, I think it's been spoke about this year as part of my game, maybe dropping into that hole. Obviously, Finney's more of a number 9, so he kind of stretched as much as he could, tried to occupy the 2 centre-halves, and for me to try and get into them pockets. To be fair to Villa, they closed them quite well, but when we did get into them, we created a few chances. And obviously, I think even at the back, we didn't give away too many chances, and that was the key today. Also,
the fact that you've closed that gap on Chelsea tonight, but also you're ending, as we go into the international break, on a high.
Yeah, that's always important. You never want to go away with a loss, especially after the week we had. We knew that was not what we wanted to do, and it's a tough game away from home. Villa have been great this year. So we knew it was going to be tough, and we dug deep and got the job done. So we can go away a little bit happier, of course not too happy, and we know we've got a long way to go for the rest of the season.
Well done, Harry.
Cheers, yeah, thank you.
We'll talk about Harry Kane himself in just a second. Just quickly, though, a word on that result for Tottenham, coming at the end of the week that it did for them.
It was so important today because they've got so much to play for still. Top 4. It's going to be hard for them. But when I look at their fixtures, Kelly, their home fixtures are not far off a dream. You've got Sheffield United, Wolves, Villa at home, Southampton at home, Man United away is the only difficult one. Even away from home, Newcastle, Everton, Leeds, Leicester. They're games that they shouldn't fear. They're 3 points off of Chelsea now. They've still got the Champions League to play. They've got a cup final to look forward to. Although it's been a really up and down season, with the players they have, there's no reason why they can't still believe they can get top 4. Of course, it's going to be so difficult against Man City, but it could still end up well. And that's why today was so important they got a win. I mean, Villa weren't the best, as Paul Merson said. You know, as Merce said, a bit formal there, Merce. As Merce said at half-time, I mean, without Jack Grealish, it's like, you know, the Beatles without McCartney. I mean, it's not a team.
Yes, very much so. Tottenham, though, got the original goal, the opening goal from Carlos Vinicius, but it was Lucas Moura, a man-of-the-match performance from him, who was the creator in every way.
Very much so. I mean, it's a nice ball down the line, old-fashioned ball really, and it's chased by Vinicius, who makes the keeper clear it. Not the best, but now it's all about Moura for me. Composure, plays it into Kane, then goes again, and then he just pulls it back. I mean, that's great vision. I mean, running at pace, you know, at real pace, to be able to see that pass and just pull it back. Loads of people would have had a shot there.
Are you going for the chip then, Merce?
Yeah, probably.
But you would have done it.
Well, I would have tried it, but he done great. And then this bit, I mean, how many people would have shot there? And the defenders didn't do much wrong, you know. It's just a great pullback. So, for me, yeah, I thought he was outstanding. I'm a big fan of Moura. I am. I like Moura.
I thought Vinicius did well today.
Yeah.
Even that, it's such an underrated ball by Reguilon. You turn the team, it's a nightmare for defenders running back to their own goal. And especially when you've got someone like Vinicius that's willing, running, and you've got Kane in behind him. I thought it looked a good partnership today. It takes time to create partnerships, but there is a lot of good things that he does. You know, he gets in the box, he's aggressive. I think coming to these last 9 Premier League games in the Cup final, I think we might see a bit more of him, and he can still have an impact to play.
Second goal came from the penalty spot. What did you make of the incident? What was he thinking?
It's a difficult one. I think from Matty Cash's point of view, he's been injured for a while, and it looked like a defender making a tired challenge. Now, of course he catches him. it is a penalty, but it's a strange one because you can see that Harry runs like he almost doesn't know what to do. And what you don't do as a defender is dive in like that. And Matty just makes it's a bad decision. You can see he catches him with his left foot there. He brings him down. I'm not sure he catches him where Harry holds his leg, but I think it is a penalty. Merce?
Yeah, it is a penalty because he's brought him down, but the ball's gone out. He's miscontrolled the ball, Harry. He's gone to do a bit of a Cruyff or a chop, and he's gone to do it and he's missed it. But no, you can't moan. I mean, just here he misses the ball for the little chop, and then Cash's like a defender slid in. I mean, we see it so many times, then with that trailing leg just catches the player, and it's clever play by a very, very clever footballer.
And of course, from Harry Kane, you call him a clever footballer. He also does the simple things like scoring penalties exceptionally well.
You didn't sit there and think he was ever going to miss it, in my opinion. They're bread and butter for him. Absolutely bread and butter. I never sat here once and thought, oh, maybe. No. I mean, the goalkeeper would have done well to go the right way.
Joint top scorer in the Premier League for this season, 30 goal involvements, which is 4 ahead of Bruno Fernandes. But it also puts him on 160 Premier League goals, which is exactly 100 behind the record set by Alan Shearer. So 25 goals a season over the next 4 seasons. Can Harry Kane catch him?
As long as he stays in this country, yes. I mean, he's got 25 goals a season, next 4. Of course he can do that. He's
and that's assuming he doesn't score again this season.
He's 27 years of age. He's got everything going for him. He will get goals. The fella just can't help it. He's just born to score. He gets in the right areas. Of course, he's playing slightly deeper, but he's still getting his goals, goal involvements as well. He will break that Alan Shearer record, make no mistake about it. It's just a matter of time.
What do you make of that slightly deeper role that he plays?
Yeah, I just think he's such an intelligent player. He could play anywhere, Harry, in that front line. But he just knows he can pick the ball up in deeper areas, and it gets him involved. Because I think there is sometimes a frustration that he doesn't get enough of the ball because Tottenham play so deep. So he has to come into these areas and play. And he's bright enough to know that when you've got Vinicius up there, he can bring people into play. He's such an intelligent footballer. I mean, a little bit of play, I think it's I think it's the next one, Merce. We absolutely loved it, didn't we? He was picking it up in deep areas. Fantastic player.
He does it well, but is it the best place for him? Because they're different things, aren't they?
Well, this is the bit of magic. I mean, outstanding. Yeah, I mean, I think he's changed his game a little bit. I think Jamie said the record will be done easy. I'm not sure about it. I'm not sure. I think 25 goals a season, then you're talking 30, 31. He's still got to get 25 a season. And I think he can play so much deeper, and he's a team player. You know, he's not someone like an Aguero who's just going to sit in the box. I think he's got an all-round game. I personally think he's the best centre forward in the world of football. I really do. He's the only player I know that can do that, who's got the whole package. People will go, oh, Haaland, he's 20, scores goals. That's what he brings to the party. He brings goals. He brings everything to the party. He brings, he's got an array of passing. He can put people in. He can join the play. I can't talk highly enough of the lad. I really can't. I think he's a special
It would have hurt him as well this week because he loves the club.
And don't take nothing away. That was a big result for Tottenham. You know, credit where credit's due. They've had a bad week, and to go to Villa and win like they did, fair play to them. Fair play.
It was a great result for Tottenham, as you say, at the end of a difficult week. We will hear what that result means to both managers. They were certainly smiling at the start of the game. We'll hear how they are at the end of it in a couple of minutes. You'll never stop this thing. Villa beaten 2-0 at home by Tottenham. It's just 1 win in their last 7. Here's Dean Smith with Jeff Shreves.
Dean, disappointing night for you. Where and how did that one get away from you?
Mistakes. I thought we started the game well. I thought we were the better team first 30 minutes. We make a mistake and they score the first goal. We got into good areas in the first half, but never showed the quality in the final third, and that's what's missing with us at the moment. And then we've made a stupid mistake for the penalty as well.
If anything, did they take the lead against the run of play?
Yeah, I felt so. I thought we started, as I say, the first half an hour well. Got in some really good areas of their penalty box, but our quality was lacking, and I'm not sure we had a shot on goal in the first half, and said that to the players at half-time. And that's the place where we're lacking at the moment. Defensively, we've been solid all game. I thought it was a foul on Matt Targett on the touchline. perhaps he's got to learn how to go down because he gets a free kick there rather than them scoring the second goal for the penalty. But disappointed, yeah.
Obviously, you're going to miss Jack Grealish's creativity, but have other players also got to step up?
Yeah, they have, and they know that. I mean, you know, said to them, we can't wait for Jack to come back. We know, everybody knows how good a player Jack is. You know, the players who are there, it's their opportunity, and not too many of them have taken them. We've been good defensively, but we've lacked creativity in the final third, that's for sure, and I think that showed today.
Is the international period now perhaps a time for you to reflect and also think about these remaining games and still push for Europe?
Yeah, listen, we've had a good season so far, but we're in a bit of a blip at the moment where our performances have been up and down and we haven't scored or created as many chances as we were previously. But we won't get too downhearted on it. We'll reflect and we'll work hard during the international period. And obviously we've got a top player coming back for the next game as well.
Thanks, Dean.
Cheers, thank you.
Yeah, they were looking at Jack Grealish for this one, wasn't quite ready in time. But he was right, they didn't have a shot in the first half. In fact, they didn't have a shot. It was Trezeguet until the 58th minute of this game. So as much as they were trying to create, and maybe as much as well as you said that they started the game, it wasn't until the second half, really, that they actually had attempts on goal.
Yeah, I mean, he should do better there. But I said before the game, yeah, it's not disrespectful to the Villa players, but they miss Jack Grealish. He's top drawer. He's a quality player. He makes things happen. All the other lads buzz off him. You know, when he gets the ball, they all start moving because he can, and he brings people into the game. He makes them. He keeps them alive. Players, by the way, he wants to play 1-2s and give and goes, and that gets other players tuned in. I just think at the moment, going forward, they look lost. At the back defensively, they're very sound. You know, they don't let in lots of goals, and that's kept them in football matches. But you know, whoever they play next, you know, it's going to be a different game for the opposition because Jack Grealish will be back.
And you can see the lack of Jack Grealish, but also what they're creating without him. And the other thing that Dean Smith raised was the foul in the build-up to the incident that led to the penalty. I've got that in order. What did you make of it, Jamie?
Tanganga does dive in a little bit, but Matty Targett gets on with it. He doesn't complain.
But Dean Smith said that was an issue. That maybe
yeah, I get that. I understand what he's saying. I just think it's purely, you know, the decision that Matthew Cash, and really like the way he plays. He had a great season. Just makes a bad decision. He goes to ground in a situation where you can't. Yeah, it looks like a foul, but there you can see that as he does it, they get on with the game. A lot happens after that. You can still get back into position. I think you're sort of looking for things to happen. I'm not sure that that's a big enough foul to make that decision worthy, really.
They're going to have the international break on to work with a lot of their players. And as Dean Smith said, Jack Grealish will be coming back at the end of that. It makes such a difference. You can see it, obviously, just by watching the game. But statistically, I mean, it's night and day, isn't it, with and without Jack Grealish?
Yeah, and I think a lot of teams miss their star players, and especially someone like Aston Villa who haven't got a lot of stars. I mean, we talk about Liverpool missing Van Dijk, and they've still got 10 top draw players. Villa they're not blessed with that, so they're going to miss Jack even more. Yeah, I can't talk. I'm a big fan of Jack Grealish. I think he's a special player, and he's missed.
Just in the tunnel, Merce, isn't it? When you're there, you can see you're playing against it. You know that Jack Grealish is playing. You're always aware from the other team's point of view, defensively, don't let the ball go to him. There's that fear factor when you play against Aston Villa. But right now, you think, well, if you can keep a few of them quiet, you're not going to get any problems. And that's why Spurs were pretty comfortable today.
Jose Mourinho not happy with the Spurs players in midweek, and he said as much ahead of this game. Let's hear what he's had to say after the final whistle. He's with Jeff Shreves.
Jose, the weekend's on a real positive. What did you make of it?
A good result. Total credit to the players. Incredible attitude, incredible effort. Some of the guys was almost like a debut, not a debut, but not many matches that the ones like Tanganga or Joe Rodon played. Some of the guys like Harry played under 20 minutes 48 hours ago. Some of others, they gave absolutely everything. I would say the team was a team. And I think our next challenge as a team is not to play like this as a reaction of an awful performance, to play like these. When I say like these, I say with this state of mind, with this soul, should be a permanent thing. And I think that's our next challenge is that not to be reactive and to be always with this attitude, an attitude that dignify our jobs, dignify our club. And yes, of course, losing matches because we are going to lose many times, but there are things that are not negotiable, and the attitude, professionalism, team spirit, empathy, these are things that are not negotiable. And the next challenge is this one, is not to react to bad results, but to be permanently with this state of mind.
Was it as simple as that? You were the winning team tonight, but you had the attitude that you were demanding from your players.
We had the attitude. Of course, we changed little details by the tactical point of view, but this is not about tactic. This is about, first of all, that attitude. So total credit for the players. The players, they gave absolutely everything. It was a pity that only 3 changes, because this is the kind of match that if you have 5 changes, you make 5. If you have 8, you make 8, because everybody was in the limits. We saw cramps, we saw fatigue, we saw the things that are connected with the performance where you give everything. And tonight was one of these matches where we had to give everything. But again, I repeat, my next challenge as their coach is for them to have this attitude every match, and not just as a reaction of a bad result.
It's also your challenge as the coach to have that attitude, also have harmony within the squad as well. You have to make decisions. You're always going to get unhappy players who you have to leave out as well. But as the coach, you've got to make sure everybody is ready to play when you call on them. Yeah,
but football nowadays is not easy in relation to that. The selfism is around. The individual interests are around. The agents are around. The connections between agents and press are around. And instead of develop a feeling of team, empathy, I do for you, you do for me, I win if I play 90 minutes, I win if I am in the stands, this is something that you need time to develop this in a group. I think nowadays you need time because society and the psychological profile of younger people is not an easy one.
Do you believe you've got the unity now within this group that can propel you towards Champions League spots, and also as well to be in the right frame going into that cup final in a month's time too?
You know, I want to be proud of my players, doesn't matter the result. And during my career, I was proud of my players many times after defeats, many times. And I was not proud last Thursday, and I was not proud at the Emirates. I want to be always proud of them, even on defeat. So for me, more than thinking in this moment about which position we are going to end, the cup that we are going to win, the final or lose the final, is to try to develop this spirit that we need. But I cannot do it alone. I have to do it with my club. I have to do it with the players on the dressing room. But tonight I'm really happy with what they did. And again, I say that the challenge is this soul. We must have it all, and every match.
Thanks, Jose. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Interesting words from Jose Mourinho, echoing really a lot of what he said post the game on Thursday and pre this match today. Clearly has a message that he wants to get across. What he has done and his Tottenham side have done is taken themselves into 6th place in the table. They're a point behind West Ham after they got a draw against Arsenal earlier, and they are 3 points behind Chelsea, who of course are inside the top 4. Jamie, what do you think that the message he's trying to get across is?
I don't know. I always feel when I listen to Jose's interviews, there are loaded messages in there, and it feels that he's been pretty honest, that he wants his players to pull together and be as one. You know, he spoke about agents hindering problems, getting involved with the press. That's always going to happen. But it's your job on them. He could end up getting top 4, maybe even get a cup, and it ends up being a brilliant season for them. But if they don't win a cup and don't get top 4, a huge disappointment with that squad and an underachieving season. So right now, everything is in the balance because it doesn't get a cup and it ends up being a
or bad defeats, you're just sweating you're going to win the next game, and they've done that tonight. And he's spot on what he says. There's ways of losing football matches. You can lose football matches and you think, you know what, you give everything for me tonight, and what can you do? The last couple of the games haven't been good enough. And
season. So right now, everything is in the balance because it
Amy, I look at the fixtures and I think they're the team they've got every chance of getting in the top 4.
They want to have stayed in the Europa League, and that's a given.
100%.
But they now don't have European football, which Chelsea do.
Yeah, and Chelsea will fancy themselves going all the way. There's 100% with that. What they needed, what they needed to do, Tottenham, was keep the eggs in both baskets. You know, have a top 4, but have the Europa just to fall back on. That's out now, so it's all in one.
Paul, Jamie, thank you very much for your company. There is golf.